Today's episode of Transformers History is sponsored by the popular MMORPG game Naruto Online. The bigwigs over at Oasis Games hit your boy up to try out this title, and it's officially authorized by Namco Bandai, the company behind the popular game series Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm. Now, me and the Naruto series have had an on and off relationship, so I wasn't really optimistic about playing this title, but after putting in a couple hours, I found myself having a good time. So come on over and join me. The link will be in the description box below. What makes a villain a villain? Is it the way they go about achieving their overarching goals? Or is it for the simple fact that they're just flat out evil? Good and evil are constrained by someone's personal definition of them. There has to be more to that because we have to start somewhere, right? What makes us lose track of our goal? And what causes us to go corrupt? To answer these questions, I think it's only fair that we discuss one of the most complex villains in cartoon and comic book history. Who am I talking about? The treacherous Starscream. This is his origin story. What's up, you guys? My name is RBG and welcome to my new video segment, Transformers Movie Universe History. In a previous episode, I did a video covering the origins of the cocky Autobot speedster, Sideswipe. We got an awesome reception on that episode and it's still climbing in views, so I have to say thanks to everyone who took time out of their precious day to watch and even comment. As mentioned in all my videos, that I myself am aware of all the hate the Bay films receive and have to agree that most of it is warranted. But I want to take you guys on a journey and show you some of the positives this universe has to offer, because if we're going to be honest, there are certain characters in the films that don't get their just due. Just a heads up, if you haven't seen the movies or read the comic book material used in this video, it will come off a bit spoilerish, so be advised. In today's episode, we'll be uncovering the history of our Decepticon second in command, Starscream. One of my favorite villains and Transformers in general, he fits the Decepticon moniker perfectly because of how deceptive he is. There's just so much to his character that you have to take your hat off to, especially since he's the first of his kind back when 80s action cartoons were at their most prominent. An evil henchman who's so cutthroat that he's willing to betray his leader to fulfill his own personal agendas. This was something that was kind of foreign during those times, even for a property meant for kids. Most secondary villains were pretty much team players when it came to doing their leader's bidding, which was a common cliche back then. But Starscream was a different kind of villain that fans grew to appreciate. His duplicity captured the hearts of many, causing some to root the ambitious Decepticon on. Yeah, I know it gets a little stupid and downright redundant how he jumps at the chance to be the leader anytime Megatron falters, especially in the G1 series. But upon reading various comic book iterations, I've noticed there's far more to his complexity as a character. You see, there are multitudes of motivations that make Starscream who he is. His ambition to overthrow Megatron as the Decepticon leader are fueled by the fact that he's best suited to be the supreme ruler of not only the Decepticons, but the ruler of Cybertron as well. It's kind of funny because in some of the comic book iterations, he's the supreme leader of Cybertron and considered the planet's chosen one. I know, right? Very shocking considering that he's failed multiple times after taking control of the Decepticons due to being too arrogant to realize when he's in over his head, and he never learns from his mistakes. But I honestly think there's something deeper behind it. You see, Starscream's never give up attitude extends even to the afterlife. Unlike most Transformers, he has a mutant, indestructible spark. His life force cannot be destroyed and can persist even without a body to contain it. This is showcased during a Season 3 G1 episode entitled Starscream's Ghost, and an episode of Beast Wars where he possesses Waspinator. That element alone makes the viewer appreciate him so much, and his G1 traits carry on into every iteration, including the Bay films. Now, I know I go out of my way to shit on how the robots are poorly portrayed in the Bayformers franchise, especially the Decepticons, but Starscream is one of the things the movies got right. My usual complaints consist of how the Decepticons are portrayed as these mindless animals with no actual dimensions to their characters, and that's mostly the case, but Starscream and Megatron are some of the great exceptions. With that said, it took some time for this particular incarnation to grow on me since he wasn't really a big part of the first movie. I mean, he only had 2 lines, but as the live action movie franchise expanded, he grew into that self-absorbed Transformer we love. We get tiny glimpses of how he tries to overthrow Megatron and their abusive dynamic relationship, so I can't really complain. I do wish we could have got more iconic traits and that he didn't have to become cannon fodder to the things fans have grown to hate the most, humans. I wanted him to go out in a more serious manner, but with that said, let's delve into the origins of our disproportionate Dorito-shaped Decepticon. For my references, I'll be using the IDW movie-based comics. This includes the Transformers Foundation and Defiance issues, which are part of the Revenge of the Fallen and Dark of the Moon arcs. I'll also be using the Reign of Starscream comics to flesh out some of the smaller details. But before we dive into our origins, I think this would be the perfect time to talk about the sponsor that made this episode possible, Naruto Online. Because as I mentioned earlier, me and Naruto have had a pretty shitty relationship that I didn't really see myself coming back to. But after trying out Naruto Online, I got an instant nostalgia boner. And no, this isn't just me whistling Dixies trying to get you to check it out, even though I really do hope you consider it. It's for the most part a pretty legit MMO. What I love about it the most is how it allows you to relive moments that made Naruto awesome before it became a boy loses boy, boy wins boy back love drama. It's an easy pick up and play title that lets you choose between 5 originally created avatar characters who will do your ninja bidding for good or for evil. You'll then be able to play through the original storyline and relive some of the moments that made you cough up all your lunch money because you couldn't get enough of that ninja running around looking like a Sunny Delight bottle. Roam the streets of the Konoha village acting like you rent shit. Meet up with some of the most popular characters in the franchise and show them the ways of the Wu-Tang. The possibilities are endless. What you'll absolutely love about Naruto Online the most is how it captures the anime's charm by using the Ultimate Ninja Storm aesthetic. And most of all, it's for free. And putting in this 90-second promo plug is going to foot the bill for new software and hardware that'll give our future content a boost it so desperately needs. So put on that Cloud Village headband and slide on over to naruto.oasgames.com to become the ultimate ninja. The link will be in the description. Years before the war began, when Sentinel Prime's Autobots revitalized Cybertron by re-energizing the Allspark, a driller was drawn to the surface by the fresh energy flowing through the planet.
Quickly, get away from the monster!
Megatron yelled at the victims.
Oh, thank Primus you're here. It's the hatchlings. We were on an educational trip.
It doesn't matter,
replied Shockwave as he blasted away at the driller's tentacles.
It had the hatchlings. Nevertheless, Megatron, I believe you may have been a little too hasty. This is not a monster, but a rather magnificent creature. Spare me your pointless admiration, Shockwave, and keep shooting it.
Megatron shouted as he pushed the traumatized victims out of harm's way.
Don't touch me!
Megatron shoved the victim and replied,
What? I just saved you. I can save myself.
The hatchling instructor quickly jumped in.
He wanted to guard us. He volunteered. And I would have protected you if he hadn't. Calm down. You're a feisty one. I was beginning to think the planet belonged to those who rhyme words and sing melodies. What do they call you?
Asked Megatron.
I am Starscream. Starscream, Good. An honest name for a warrior. There is hope for our world after all.
Megatron liked Starscream's feisty attitude and saw a place for him in the future of Cybertron he hoped to shape.
The beast has vanished, Megatron, but there may be more,
said Shockwave.
No matter. Starscream, it is up to our kind to save Cybertron from itself if need be.
Starscream later joined Megatron's defense force and was very much at home. As Cybertron began to flourish once more, Megatron's defense force soared high, protecting the skies, while Optimus Prime's science division kept their heads buried in the cold metal ground. For once, the Transformers found a unified utopia, but some spoke out against the new order, a rebel alliance known as the Malcontents. As head of the defense force, it was Megatron's task to make sure they did not pose a threat to the population, a task he readily latched onto. He ordered Starscream and his soldiers to wipe out any malcontents that tried to oppose the newly established Cybertron laws.
I can't believe they stuck me with raw recruits,
Ironhide uttered under his breath.
Please, you know I'm here at the direct request of High Protector Megatron himself,
replied Starscream.
That doesn't give you the experience, Starscream.
Come on, Ironhide. Just because you're an old man.
Quiet, Chromia,
Ironhide said.
Your intelligence was right, Soundwave. My information is always correct,
said Soundwave. Megatron slowly emerged from the shadows as he began sizing up the Malcontent rebels.
They are heavily armed and ready to kill. They are a danger, and their grievances are not our concern,
said Megatron. He contacted Shockwave.
Shockwave, execute. My specialty, Lord Megatron.
The Malcontents talking amongst each other heard a weird noise.
Hey, what's that sound outside? Sounds like...
As soon as the rebel could finish the sentence, boom!
You're under arrest.
Shockwave mercilessly blasted away through their hideout. The down Malcontents began pleading for their life. Wait! But the cold scientist didn't falter. He readied his arm-mounted astromag cannon and shot the rebel directly in the face. The rest of the defense force joined in the slaughter, seeing how many they could kill for sport. One male content tried to surrender as his number of comrades started to dwindle. "Help! Help!" the male content yelled as he ran towards Megatron and his camp.
Don't move!
Ironhide shouted. Before the rebel could comply, Starscream shot him straight in the chest.
Cowards.
Starscream muttered in disgust.
I didn't have a choice. He was going to kill us, Lord Megatron. It matters not, Starscream. We didn't need any survivors. But this reminds me, I do need to have a word with Optimus.
Megatron met with Optimus and requested supreme authority in protecting the planet. Optimus obliged. Later, Starscream became commander of the newly anointed Lord Protector Megatron's defense forces. Using his powerful starship mode, he patrolled for light years around Cybertron, locating and on occasion clearing dangers before they reached his home planet. Shortly after surveillance duty, he arrived back on Cybertron, partially damaged from battle.
Commander Starscream, how may I be of service?
Ratchet asked. Starscream stared at the medic in optimism as he favored his injury.
First Officer Ratchet. Trouble at the Ashram's Nebula again, Commander? You could say that. This is the fourth scout ship that I've spotted this cycle.
Starscream said squeamishly as Ratchet tended to his damaged arm.
I take it from your injury that you didn't keep a safe distance. I did, but unfortunately, they didn't,
said Starscream with a cold-oiled smirk on his face.
Regardless, there's something going on out there. Well, it's a good thing that we have soldiers such as you to help us out, Commander.
Ratchet replied as he finished repairing Starscream's injury.
We all have the ability to fight, Ratchet. Regardless of our duties, we all vow to protect the planet and the Allspark. Yes, we do. I'm finished here, Commander. Your normal recovery cycle will take care of the rest. Thank you. Tell me, how are things in the science sector?
Asked Starscream.
Things are well. Optimus informed me that they're about to break ground on a promising site. Hopefully excavations will yield something of value this time. Or they'll just leave you with a pile of worthless scrap as usual,
said Starscream.
Commander, glad to see you made it back in one piece,
said Ironhide as he approached the newly recovered Sky Commander.
Captain Ironhide, ready to go? I got tired of waiting and almost took off a while ago. I encountered another scout ship. I suggest that we step up patrols immediately. It's only a matter of time before this escalates into something much larger.
Ironhide agreed.
You may be right, but save it. We're late. Let's get a move on.
Now, I just want to take time to point out that Starscream has begun to go on a power trip shortly after his promotion. He became corrupt in his own way, although he prefers subtlety instead of Megatron's brute force. What may once have been noble goals are buried under layers of self-interest, transforming Starscream into that which he supposedly despised. When a mysterious relic was discovered, Megatron ordered it to be removed at once, a demand that Optimus disagreed with. Just as the two were about to launch into another argument, Cybertron fell under attack by the Nebula inhabitants.
Lord Megatron, we're under attack! Who dares?
Asked Megatron.
All indications are the same species I encountered near the Ashram's Nebula. Starscream, continue your defense of the city. Put Barricade and Scorponok on recon. I will join you on the battlefront momentarily.
Starscream commanded the aerial forces in defense of the temple in Sinford. After Megatron was injured in battle, Starscream rushed to his side to inquire about his condition and to ask for further orders.
Megatron, are you alright, sir?
Starscream asked as he descended from the smoke-filled skies.
I will continue to function. See to it that the attackers do not. And what are they supposed to do?
Starscream asked, pointing at Bumblebee and Cliffjumper.
Stay out of our way.
Megatron staggered back to his quarters in Tripticon. Now I just have to go out of my way to say that by this point Megatron discovers the relic is the Fallen, which heals him and fuels him with new ambitions to form the Decepticons and take control over Cybertron. Since this is Starscream's story and not Megatron's, I'm not going to go in depth on what happened, so I highly recommend you check out my video dedicated to Megatron's origins to fill in the blanks. After he fully recovered, Megatron launched a massive war rally outside of Tripticon, demanding vengeance upon the alien aggressors. He claimed that until the war ended, he would assume full control of the military, and everybody would answer only to him. He then ordered Starscream and his Seekers to conduct a war of genocide. None of the aliens were to survive. They began their mission against the Ashram's Nebula in a full-on assault.
None shall be spared! Attack!
Starscream and the other flight-capable Cybertronians began strategically taking out each ship in droves.
They're trying to get into formation. Hit them hard!
Starscream said to his Seekers.
I'll send the drones at the flagship.
said Dreadwing.
They'll penetrate the hull with a little effort, initiating their attack run now.
Just as the drones started to synchronize, they were taken out in a single blast from the Eshm Nebula's flagship.
Dreadwing, you idiots! You just lost over half of our attack force. Then you'll just have to double your efforts, Starscream,
ordered Megatron as he persistently clawed away at the incoming ships.
Fight, my warriors! Show them no mercy!
Thundercracker here. Scratch one ship for me. How about you, Ramjet?
Excellence! Once we reach the flagship, we will assist Megatron in breaching the hull,
said Starscream. Another ship quickly explodes to pieces, but the flagship launches yet another huge beam at the aerial bots.
Whoa! Blackout! See if you can disrupt that targeting system.
Roger that.
Blackout sends out a ginormous pulse wave of energy, and the rest of the Decepticons reunite with Megatron atop the Eshm Nebula's flagship. Megatron fought his way inside the alien flagship and personally executed the alien leader. As the battle drew to a close, Starscream was given the task of finishing off the command ship and all inside it, and became the first being privy to Megatron's plan for dominance.
Take your team and destroy the ship. None are to survive. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Excellence. When you're finished, meet with me. We will regroup and carry out our new mission.
New mission, Lord Megatron?
Starscream asked.
Correct, but we are weakened by passivity. It is weakness that allows us to be attacked. Now, we will rule the surrounding systems or destroy them. For I am now allied with the most powerful entity, and he has given me the guidance that I need,
Megatron said as he glared at Starscream with a devious smile. Underground opposition to the new regime came in the form of Optimus and his science division, something Lord Megatron would not stand for. Megatron arranged to have the quote-unquote traitors taken care of by ordering Prowl's security team to arrest Optimus. He then issued orders out to his Sky Commander.
Starscream, where are you?
Just waiting for your signal, Lord Megatron.
It's time. I need you to do what you do best.
We're ready when you are, sir.
While Prowl and security officers arrested Optimus on trumped-up charges of treason, Starscream Squadron was given orders to capture Optimus Prime alive and leave no living witnesses. Frenzy alerted Starscream of the Autobots' locations.
Target's moving, headed straight towards Metro Titan. They're all yours, Starscream. Frenzy out. Our warriors will bring them in, Lord Megatron.
I only want Optimus. Terminate the rest.
Meanwhile, Prowl tried to convince Optimus to turn himself in willingly.
Megatron thinks you being in his quarters uninvited resorts to treason, but I never told him you were. If he knows that you were there, then he must know that me—
Before Prowl could finish talking, he and Optimus found themselves on the receiving end of a missile. It was Starscream and his Decepticon faction.
You stay clear of the impact zone. We're moving in to secure the area,
yelled Starscream. Unfortunately, Optimus Prime proved more than a match for Starscream's entire unit, bringing down the ruins of a city upon them. The group survived and were used by Megatron as proof that there were enemies with Cybertron as well as without, to rally his army into a new faction, the Decepticons. During the launch of the Nemesis, Starscream believed Megatron's propaganda that Sentinel Prime was a liar and expressed disdain of Optimus's claim that he was a Prime too.
My sources tell me that my erstwhile brother made public his claim to be descendants of the Primes.
Another Prime? Has it become that contagious, my lord?
Indeed, and it is up to us to end this outbreak.
As time went by, the war between the Autobots and the Decepticons devastated the planet. Two sides locked in a seemingly never-ending battle, neither gaining an advantage over the other. During the subsequent Civil War, Starscream blindly followed Megatron's orders, murdering those who did not bow to his lord's will, even those who didn't choose sides. As the war waged on, Starscream and Shockwave took to the skies and shot down any Autobot who tried to steal the cube from the Semper Temple. Starscream noticed the Leader 1 reaching the Allspark and activating Sentinel's torch.
Megatron, the door!
I see them, Starscream. Enough of the nonsense, Decepticons. Exterminate the Autobots!
Starscream pursued the Leader 1, but she escaped into the tunnels, delivering the torch to Sentinel Prime. As the Ark took off, Starscream gave chase and began trying to shoot the Autobot ship down. But unbeknownst to him, he didn't know that Megatron and Sentinel secretly made a deal to seek out another planet whose resources could potentially restore Cybertron. As the Sky Commander sought to destroy the former Autobot leader, Megatron tried to get him to change his objective.
Starscream, come back!
But Starscream phased out his master's commands. He wanted to bask in this moment and relish it. He launched a missile at Sentinel when he arrived on the Ark, causing the ship to disappear in a tremendous explosion.
No!
Yelled Megatron in disbelief. The Autobots fled, but Megatron correctly deduced Optimus would return with a vengeance. Starscream was inside Megatron's citadel when Optimus launched another attack in revenge for Sentinel's death. While Optimus and Megatron faced off, Starscream and Shockwave fought their former captain Ironhide.
Prime!
Ironhide yelled in concern of his Autobot leader.
Look at the Autobot cry for his master. We should put him out of his misery, Shockwave.
I concur,
replied Shockwave.
You should have never sided with Optimus Prime. You didn't have to die today, Ironhide.
That's the difference between me and creeps like you. I stand beside my friends.
You betrayed your friends.
No, it was you, Starscream, and your master who betrayed Cybertron.
Shockwave was tired of the back and forth banter between Starscream and Ironhide.
Enough. Discussion is illogical.
Starscream points his blaster at Ironhide.
Good point, Shockwave.
Suddenly, the sky darkened. Optimus Prime emerged and blasted both of them, allowing him and Ironhide to escape. The attack had actually been a distraction from Wheeljack's death of the Allspark after the first assault had exhausted the Decepticons.
Lord Megatron, I need help.
Shut up, Starscream. I'll hear no more of your simpering.
Later, Starscream was leading an assault on the Autobots at Tiger Pax when Blackout arrived to reinforce them.
Megatron knows where to find the Allspark,
said Bone Crusher.
What? He knows the Allspark's location while we waste time here? I must go to it.
Don't you mean go to him? You serve Megatron as do the rest of us, right, Starscream?
Starscream quickly changed his tone.
Well, of course, fool.
Bro, you will take us to Megatron. He needs us. Take us now before I kill all of you,
ordered Bone Crusher.
Yes, we know how you feel about us. But wait, is that Blackout? Aren't you supposed to never leave Megatron's side?
Asked Starscream. They witnessed the launch of the Allspark into space, a desperate gambit by the Autobots, and immediately Starscream and Blackout began to bicker over their next move. Starscream was infuriated by Megatron's incompetence. He felt that if he were leader of the Decepticons, they would rule over Cybertron with the cube firmly in their possession. In his optics, Megatron's greed for domination did nothing but doom their planet.
We were so close. It was sure to be our finest moment. We had been played for fools. Rather than continue our attack to wipe out the Autobots and then claim the Allspark, our esteemed leader Megatron went after it, and their leader Optimus Prime chose to launch it into the vastness of space, dooming us all.
Starscream had ascended to Decepticon leadership in the absence of their former lord, and though he had seemed to carry on the long search for the lost Megatron and the Allspark to keep his position as leader, his greatest hope was that Megatron would never be found. Sometime later, the Decepticons followed the Allspark's trace energy pulse and the wake of Prime's ship to a solar system galaxies away, landing on a fourth planet. They discovered a primitive life form that seemed to have been created from the Allspark.
Excellent! Continue to survey this world. This cruel life form could have been from the Allspark's energy. I sense its pull from that third planet. The rest of us will travel there. When we locate the Allspark, I will send for you to join us. Decepticons, onward to victory!
Fast forward to over a millennia later, Starscream's team made planetfall on Earth in Afghanistan, quickly attracting the attention of a nearby US military base, which sent out an armored personnel carrier to investigate.
Blackout, do you sense Megatron's location in this mud ball?
I feel the Allspark's pull, but too faintly. After all this time, I'm so close. We're so close. If Megatron still hasn't found the Allspark, we should split up.
Too late, yelled Wreckage. The armored personnel carrier discovered the Decepticons.
We're already detected. I'm sensing electronic activity over in the next pass. An installation of some sort, military in nature,
said Bone Crusher.
Well, they're advanced enough to be aware of our arrival. Now let's see how much of a fight they can put up.
They wasted no time destroying the carrier. After it was destroyed, the Decepticons attacked the base itself. During the rather one-sided assault, a human agent of Sector 7 was impressed by the alien invaders' ability to adapt to Earth's finest weaponry. By God, even our weapons weren't enough. Impressive. Starscream diverted his attention to the human.
Yes, we are.
And blasted him till nothing was left.
I only sense minimal life readings here, Starscream. When will we find real numbers to destroy?
Asked Bone Crusher.
Patience. There's a planet full of them still to go. We're just getting started.
Fast forward to the year 2003. Starscream's infiltration team, consisting of Barricade and Blackout, touched down on Mars, where they stumbled upon the Beagle 2 rover. Starscream grabs the device and slams it to the ground.
Primitive garbage,
said Starscream.
Yes, but evidence of intelligent life nonetheless.
Blackout replied.
We'll need to proceed with caution. Fine, as long as we get to kill something along the way.
Splitting up, they headed to Earth, where Starscream scanned an F-22 Raptor fighter jet being tested by the U.S. Air Force at the Nellis Air Force Base. He destroyed it, then adopted the vehicle form for himself, leaving the scene of destruction. He radioed his fellow Decepticons to report in on their hunt for new disguise forms.
Taking their new forms gives us the perfect disguise. All Decepticons mobilized.
Barricade en route. Brawl reporting. Bone Crusher rolling.
Blackout incoming. All hail Megatron.
And that, my friends, is where we'll have to end this origin story. If you've seen the first film, then you already know what happens next. In my honest opinion, this origin story was decent at best. It has its high points, but for the most part, we don't really see Starscream do that much other than follow Megatron's orders. His comic books don't get good until we get into the parts that show what he's up to in between the events of TF1 and TF2. So if you guys want me to do part 2 to his origin story, let me know. As I mentioned earlier, Starscream was one of the few shining elements when it came to the Michael Bay films. They captured his menacing traits down to the letter. I'd say the only thing that was missing is that we didn't get to see him take the leadership mantle as he did in the IDW comics and the other incarnations. Sadly, he met his untimely end at the hands of Sam in the third film, and to that I have to say rest in peace to our nacho-shaped comrade. It was awesome getting a glimpse of what could have proved to be excellent storytelling if handled correctly. I for one would have loved to see what he would look like if he made it to Transformers 5 The Last Night, since most of the robots had a more proportioned form, especially the Decepticons, instead of having their weird insect-like faces and animalistic hind legs. Maybe we'll see him make a return since the bigwigs at Paramount are going on about this expanded Transformers universe. But anyways, what do you think of Starscream's origin story? Did you find it interesting? Does it help you appreciate the expanded universe that the Bay films have presented? Let me know in the comment section below. As always, I ask that you like or dislike the video. It doesn't have to be a thumbs up, it can be a thumbs down. Any feedback is good feedback and will only help improve on future content on this channel. And if you're interested in more Transformers history videos like this one, or just Transformers videos in general, subscribe to stay updated on this channel and hit that notification button. And to get a confirmation that you watched this video in its entirety, follow your comments up with hashtag #TillAllGamersAreOne. I just want to say thank you to the notification squad who comes through and supports these videos. And I also want to give another shout out to Oasis Games for reaching out to me and sponsoring this video with Naruto Online. If you like Naruto and his games but you're burnt out because they've been a little bit stale in the gameplay department, then I highly recommend you go check this one out. Its gameplay is fresh and offers some awesome strategy elements with a sick level up system. So definitely get on it while you can. But as always, my name is RBG, signing out on another video. I will catch you guys later. Peace out.
You know me.